All right, so first and foremost, I never in a million years seen myself making a video on semen retention. Never. I never would have, my mind would have never landed on that. But here I am. It's 2025, so Happy New Year's to everybody watching. If you stumble across this video, then hey, lucky you. So first, before I get into the nitty gritty and I start to list the benefits and how I manage triggers and how I broke the addiction to things like porn and stuff like that, I'm gonna first make a disclaimer and just say everything I'm gonna tell you in this video, it's all empirical. None of it has been research based. None of it is me regurgitating what I heard from another creator or something that I've read. This is all just my perspective. I've abstained from watching other creators because I have videos on my timeline, on my feed every day that come up about semen retention, why you need to do it. It benefits you in this way. You know, you can expect these results. I'm not promising any of that. All I'm doing is telling you how it's helped me and how it may help you if you choose to do this and follow some of these guidelines and principles that I'm going to tell you in just a minute. I've abstained from watching other creators and any other outside sources because I want to give a fresh perspective on this practice myself, and I didn't want to, you know, copy and steal and regurgitate from other people, even though I'm sure there might be some overlap. I mean, that's normal. I just wanted to let that be known from the jump. You know what I'm saying? Now that we got that out the way, without further ado, let's get into it. So one of the sensations and feelings that I've experienced along this month's journey from abstaining from my lust and holding my seed is that you will feel a sense of empowerment. The self-control that stems from it is something that's truly gonna make you feel a lot stronger, a lot more in control, more just whole and complete. And as a young male in my early 20s, if you can control your lust, then every other demon or every other thing that follows it just feels minor, like point blank. Once I got past like the first week, I would say, I didn't feel the urge to, you know, relapse, and I wasn't as triggered. It like slowly became easier and easier for some other reasons I'm gonna cover later on in the video. Yeah, that was the first up, sense of empowerment, you know, self-control. You feel more in control and more centered, and it makes it a lot easier to stick to it and be consistent. Number 2, improved focus. Slowly it becomes easier and easier and simpler to detach from some of these intrusive thoughts as they arise. They come and go. It doesn't linger. Your mind has deemed it as unimportant and it treats it as such. And the last benefit, which is the most straightforward of them all, is I had way more energy. I didn't feel as depleted on a day-to-day basis. I wasn't, you know, as lethargic and in such a low vibration. So I had more energy due to the fact that every time you bust, it's like you're giving life away, because that's what you have. That's what your seed is for, to reproduce. So every time you do that, it's like you're losing vitality. The last phase that I want to touch on is how I manage to resist the temptation when triggered, because this is the key part to mitigating the addiction and how to defeat it and eradicate it completely. So for me, it was minimizing social media use. I stopped compromising my time and attention for short dopamine rushes. I didn't allow algorithms to decide and dictate what to put in front of me when. Every time I open any social media app, I'm on there with a purpose. I'm looking for something and I stick to that. I don't deviate and allow myself to be distracted. So recognize if this is happening to you. If you fall into this trap, keep your scrolls to a minimum, and double down on replacing this habit with something else you enjoy. I believe that in order to break one bad habit, you have to replace it with something else. Otherwise, you just end up back where you started. All right, so number 2, I became keenly aware of the times of day where I was most susceptible to giving in. I'm nocturnal, extremely nocturnal. I'm at my peak like late mornings between 11 and 12. If I'm up late at night, that's typically like the sweet spot when I'm more likely to give in. I'm at my most peaceful when it's quiet, I'm distraction free, you know, and I'm able to channel all of my thoughts and just be in more of a relaxed state. When I was in a constant habit and I was addicted to ejaculating and basically giving in to my urges or whatnot, it was because it was a way that my body was coping with stress and trouble sleeping. Something I still deal with now, but I'm slowly getting better at it, like going to bed earlier. I'm not as scatterbrained, I'm not as overstimulated from my phone or stress that I may have encountered earlier that day. I'm learning how to manage that a little better. So that was one way that I broke that habit, but it was a coping mechanism for me. So getting down to the root of why is going to be your best bet at stopping it and preventing it, eradicating, whatever, getting rid of it completely and dropping the habit. All right, so you made it to the end. Last but not least, purpose, 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 and a plan too, but mainly the purpose part. This is something that I'm still experiencing and seeking firsthand. This is something you have to work towards relentlessly. You have to be able to endure. You have to be resilient. It's not a 9 to 5 type of thing where you punch in and punch out. It's a life pursuit. So give yourself grace and give yourself patience. It requires it. It's the only way you're gonna see it through and be able to make it to the other side. And that brings me to doing this YouTube thing. I'm trying something new. It's something I'm gonna build and grow from the ground up. And hopefully you'll be on that journey with me so you can see it happen firsthand. So I appreciate all y'all for watching. I definitely got more to come, so just stay locked in, stay in tune, all of that. I promise I won't let you down.